What's up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellania. Today, I'm coming at you with a kid up and chat. Instead of my usual whip and chat, I'm going to be kidding something up. We're still going to stick to the same script we usually do, wherein I am going to be reading a tarot card for you to give us our thought for the week. But I thought, let's change it up a little bit. I've got news for you. I've got some fun goings on, announcements, and then we'll get into the rest. But I am actually doing something I said I was not going to do for a long time, and that is I am kitting something up from Dreamer Designs. Yeah, I know, guys, I know. This is Teddy Bear by Curtis Regovich. She is lovely. She's got two Care Bears on her head. She's got Bedtime Bear and Grumpy Bear. Oh, I love it. I'm really excited. It is a 1.5 version canvas, meaning the canvas that I worked on prior, Spirit, she was a version 1 canvas, and the issue with that was that the canvas grid was not tight. The drill field was a disaster. You could park a bus inside of the gapping, and I am trying my best to avoid that ever happening again. But this one is not their newest canvas. It is their next to newest canvas. This would have been anything that you purchased after 2023, but up to, this month in October 2024. So all that said, I'm going to set the Fairies Oracle cards aside because we're going to be using those a little bit later. And then I have right now, this is kitted up with half of something else, and then I am going to be kitting up something in here so that I don't waste a half a tray sitting there doing nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna work on a Dreamer Designs. I know I wouldn't normally do that, but we're gonna do it a little different this time. So how has everyone's week been? I have been a busy beaver doing very many different things in my home, in the workspace, and then for the channel. And I have to tell you guys, I am really excited to announce a few different things for the channel that I want to talk to you about. First, I'm going to get this row all cut first, and then I can kit these up. The nice thing about Dreamer Design stuff is everything is in order already. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., which is really nice. I don't have to worry so much about the order of things because it's already in order for me. I'm going to check against everything, of course, but that is exciting. I don't know if they still do it this way, but man, this is handy. So announcements for the channel, a few things that are of note and are really, really exciting. One, your friend Naomi is now a sneak peeker for Captured by Radiance. You guys, I am honored and was honored to be asked by Deborah from Captured by Radiance to show some canvases for her and to laud her product. Honestly, I stand behind it 100%. And so I thought, yes, I will show anything that you want me to show, Deborah. You just point me at the canvas and tell me what you want me to do. Her canvases, especially the new releases, her manufacturer is divine. I love her canvases, all of it. So when she asked me, I, of course, said yes right away. That said, right now, through the end of October, there is a sale going on at Captured by Radiance. You can save 40% on anything in the store except for any custom pens that that they have there, or any new releases that might be showing up. She's already moved all of her former new releases into kits, and so you can get anything that she has listed for kits that are not new releases for 40% off. That is amazing. So thank you again to Deborah, and go get you some sale product. I'll put the code up on the screen for you here. Go get you some 40% off products from Captured by Radiance, guys. That was announcement number 1. Announcement number 2, right? Jam-packed, I know. I am going to be running an event. I should be working while I'm saying all of this, but I got sidetracked with moving my hands around, I guess. I am going to be hosting an event on my channel, and this event in particular is actually I was given permission by, and I'm now sponsored by, Ms. Margaret Morales herself. Yes, the goddess Margaret Morales has given me permission to run an event which is called Mary Morales. I'll put a graphic up on the screen here for you so that you can get a beautiful image. Oh my gosh, I'm so beyond excited to host this event. It will be taking place on my channel from December 1st to January 31st. And the rules are very, very easy to follow. It needs to be a Margaret Morales kit, which is licensed, of course. If you are going for weekly prizes or even grand prize, there's no new start required. If you're going for weekly prizes, all you're going to do is fill out the entry form, which I will be putting out for you guys to start signing up on the 1st of November. So you won't see that yet, but you will see that soon. Once I have opened everything up to the public, then you will be able to sign up. You can talk about what kit you're doing, all that fun stuff. And then you're going to be watching my videos each week. Mondays, I'm going to put out a video where I'm going to give you a special word. You are going to comment on that video with the special word in a sentence, and then you will be entered for weekly drawings. Now, if you're going for weekly drawings, you don't have to worry about the grand prize rules, but if you are going for the grand prize, you won't need a new start. You do need at least a 50 by 50 area to paint on, because you will need to complete 5 out of 8 of the updates for your photos on the Facebook page, which again, I'm going to share all of this at the beginning of November. And then you will be required to finish your canvas. And then you'll complete the exit form, sending a picture of your finish, and then, you know, we'll go from there. But I will have weekly prizes, and then I will have a grand prize at the end. I am so excited because Margaret has agreed to sponsor this event along with a few other sponsors that we've already got. I'll hold off on sharing all of that just yet, but I am stoked, beyond stoked to be running this event for you guys. I am just over the moon, you know what I mean? Because one, I really did have a lot of fun the last time I ran an event on my channel. And I thought, you know, my birthday is on the 2nd of December, and I really want to run an event sometime around my birthday, right? And so I thought, well, my favorite artist is Margaret Morales. How cool would it be to run an event the same time as I have my birthday? I get to work on a canvas I am going to absolutely adore working on, and I get to share all of that with you guys, prizes and works in progress. And oh my God, I'm beyond elated and honored to be running an event for Margaret Morales. And I hope that you guys are going to get as excited as I am. That said, I hope that you will take part in the event because it's going to be tons of fun. All right, now where is number 22? Come on now. 22 somewhere? Ouch. Bump my elbow. Here we go. So yeah, that's coming up. Like I said, in December, I will be opening up everything in November so that you guys can have plenty of time to get your canvases, to get signed up, to get ready. And I think we're really going to have a lot of fun. And while, yes, this is going to be a Margaret Morales event, that does not mean that diamond painting companies are going to be left out of the fun, because throughout the process, I'm also going to be talking about other watercolor artists that exist out there and where you can find them. So we're not going to leave other companies out, because I know Margaret is right now licensed with Diamond Art Club. And so if you're buying something new, you're going to need to pick that up at Diamond Art Club. But that said, you can still find sometimes a destashed kit from DIY Moon Shop that would be a licensed Margaret Morales kit, or you can do a cross-stitch conversion from Heaven and Earth Designs. They have a cross-stitch conversion, or well, they have cross-stitch patterns there, and you can buy a Margaret Morales licensed cross-stitch pattern. I have mine. I'm not going to be doing a cross-stitch conversion, but I've already purchased a cross-stitch pattern for a piece from Heaven and Earth Designs. And so, you know, there you could do it that way, or you could also, if you are doing a Diamond Art Club custom, because I know that Diamond Art Club did allow one person who did a custom to do a Margaret piece that they're not currently holding the license for, or they are and they just haven't told us, but they, you know, they allowed that with Margaret's permission, of course, to do that piece. So that is super exciting. And so if you do have a custom from Diamond Art Club and it's a Margaret Morales piece, you can also use that to enter for Mary Morales. I am so excited. I can hardly, like, stand it, you guys. It is going to be so much fun. But, yeah. So, big stuff going on for the channel, right? Uh-oh. I think Beans is having a dream. He's, like, doing that thing where he barks in his mouth while he's dreaming. But anyways, you guys, so last week, the northern United States was hit with solar storms, okay? And, well, I mean, the United States was hit with all kinds of storms, but in particular, Wisconsin was hit with a solar storm. And guess what I got to see again? Yes, the Aurora Borealis. You guys, I have not seen anything like it in my life. The last time, it was like, you know, we hung out for hours, but we really only saw like 5 minutes worth of a show, right? Which was unfortunate because, I'm going to go ahead and get started putting things in here because I'm running out of room in my thingy here. But it was unfortunate the last time because I did, where's my tray? Sorry, I'm like lost. Here we go. Because, you know, we stayed there for hours, but really, like, there wasn't a whole lot happening. Like, it was pretty uneventful. Actually, should I? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 28, and 28. 28 and 28 are not enough. So yeah, I got to start on this first row, right? 28 and 28. I can't do math. 46, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 66 is right on the nose, you guys. Uh-ohs. Well, I'm going to have to do it like that. Unless, no, I'm going to do it like that. I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to go dig through stuff, so it'll be fine. If I have extra, I have another little thing that I put my extra drills in, so we will just make it work, y'all. Oh, I have this whole other, oh, it's fine. Anyways, so yeah, we went to go see the Aurora Borealis, and we went back to the same place that we went the last time, where we went to see the Aurora Borealis the first time. And we sat there. It was just Dustin and I this time. And, you know, we are now celebrating 20 years together, which, if I'm being honest, seems completely impossible. It really does. But we are celebrating 20 years of time together. And we decided, okay, let's go and see if we can see the Aurora Borealis again this time. But let's go just the two of us, no kids, no dogs, you know, no nothing. Let's just go. And so we did that. And, you know, we sat there for quite a while. And at first, you know, like when you're just, we're sitting on this hill, we're looking out at the distance. And really, it wasn't north that we were looking kind of like northeast, okay? And it was interesting because, like, at first, I mean, if you've never seen the Aurora Borealis, or, you know, like, its build up in the sky, it's hard to describe. But, like, essentially what happens is, if you're just looking with the naked eye and you can't see the colors with the naked eye, it doesn't look like much of anything, really. Like, it doesn't appear like anything's really going on. But when you are kind of just hanging out, you know, you grab out your camera, you take some pictures, then you can start to see colors develop with regard to what's on the camera, okay? And that's kind of what happened to us. Like, at first, it just looks like white, kind of wispy clouds. And you'll notice, like, it'll be, like, kind of shifty, moving, misty, whatever. And then all of a sudden, there'll be this, like, whoosh that'll go over the sky. And it looks like that cloud, that wispy cloud, is, like, pulsing across the sky while you're looking up at it. And so at first it was really just that, you know, like, not much. It was, I'm taking pictures with my camera, and I'm going to share these with you as I'm going. But you can kind of see how at first it's not much, you know, like, it's looking very green in the camera, and, you know, you can go like, oh, okay, that's fine. I guess I can kind of see what it's supposed to be, you know, whatever. And eventually what happens is, like, there's these really dark white clouds appear in the sky, and it starts to get, like, thicker, and, like, spikes start showing up. So when you take pictures, it becomes more colorful. It becomes more vibrant. There's more, like, pinks or oranges in there. And, you know, mostly the people that were there, like, up on the hill with us, there was a couple that had been laying there, not really saying much of anything, you know, whatever, no big deal. But they, let me scooch this back so you can kind of see a little more, sorry. There we go. But the couple that was sitting there on the hill with us for a while, they eventually take off. Like, I guess they got bored waiting for there to be, like, a like, to the naked eye light show. And so they took off, and it was just Dustin and I up on the hill. And we're watching as this white wispy cloud is starting to really build and condense. And I keep pointing at this one spot, and I'm like, Dustin, it's going to be right there when it shows up. So keep your camera pointed in that direction. And I mean, I must have shot, I don't even know how many photos. So many freaking photos of like that spot or like next to it as this, you know, Aurora Borealis is just building and building and building. And, you know, honestly, it wasn't like the first time where I got to see this big burst of light across the sky in color. It was mostly what you could see with the camera. Like, it wasn't much of a to the naked eye kind of show. Totally fine. Because it was still very cool in the camera. And the white wispy looking clouds, which was just, you know, solar dust or whatever the heck the Aurora Borealis is made of, it was just amazing to look at. And eventually, you know, it's probably at this point, I would say like 40 degrees, if that, probably colder than that. Dustin starts getting cold. I was wrapped in a blanket, but like my hands are completely frozen from being exposed and trying to take pictures, you know, with my camera. And eventually he's like, well, you know, I do have to work tomorrow. I know this is really cool to watch, but we should get back to the car and like kind of decide if we want to just leave right away, whatever. Well, first we start to go back to the car, and I've kind of explained what Aztalan is before. It's this state park, and it used to be populated by Native Americans of the Cahokia tribe. And they, at one point, all vanished from Aztalan. Okay, hold on, let me take a drink. They all vanish from Aztalan. And it's believed that they eventually became the Aztecs, okay? That they left, they went down to South America and became the Aztecs. And there's some mounds there, burial mounds, which of course, you know, because people are gross, they decided to dig up and whatnot. There's 6 mounds of chiefs, and then there's one that's called a princess mound, and they call it the princess mound because they found a female in that particular mound, which is unusual. Like, you don't see females buried like that. So they believe that she was sort of like the princess of the tribe, although princess isn't accurate, but that's just what they call it. Anyways, so there's also these earthen pyramids, and it's some of the only earthen pyramids in the United States. They look very, very, very similar to like Mayan like temples, the way that they're like shaped like stair steps, right? Because these have stair steps. There's 3 levels. Well, when we're sitting up at the top and watching, you know, you have to go up 3 levels. It's very steep. This is relevant, I promise. Well, we decide to go back down by the car, and we go down about halfway back because we wanted to turn around, and I wanted to get pictures specifically of the earthen pyramid, and then because it used to be a fort and they have these huge logs, which are like a fence kind of, I wanted to get a good shot with the Aurora Borealis and like that in silhouette, in black silhouette. Well, this guy decides that he wants to go up on the hill and watch some of the light show. And by this point, it's dark. It's been warm that day and got cold that night. And so the grass is getting very dewy. I think you can see where this is going. The guy decides to go up the hill, and he took the shortcut way to get up, which is to just climb up the grass hill, okay? Well, he's standing up on top of the hill. when I decide to take my pictures. And I'm popping that up. You can see him, his silhouette on the hill. And I took a picture. I didn't care that he was there. It didn't bother me, whatever. And Dustin and I are standing there taking more pictures, whatever. I'm kind of popping them off. Well, all of a sudden, I'm popping off pictures of the hill silhouetted. And in one picture, you see the guy. In the next picture, he's gone. Because he decided... he decided, instead of doing the smart thing and using the front of the pyramid, which has a set of stairs, like, built into it, like actual log steps, he decides he's just going to go down the side of the very, very, very steep hill. And all I hear as I'm, like, clicking pictures is, and him hit like a wet bag of crap. I only laugh because he was fine. I wouldn't laugh if he'd injured him. Well, I'd probably, would probably still laugh if he injured himself. But, I would check on him, obviously. He was fine. Just knocked the wind out of him, I'm sure. But, yeah, first you see a picture of him on the hill, and the next one he's just gone. Because he slipped and went, boom, down on the... the first landing, and I was dying. I'm trying not to loudly laugh at the guy because we're not, but maybe, I don't know, 150, no, probably 50 yards from the guy. And I'm like, oh my God, Dustin, that dude just fell. Yeah, like a wet bag of crap. Down he goes. And so we head back to the car. Well, by the end of the night, we get back down to the car, and by the end, when we finally decide that we're gonna leave, I kept stalling and stopping because, oh my God, as we got out of the, as we got down back to the car, what was just white in the sky, and you could only see in the camera, now the sky has turned bright pink. You could see it now with the naked eye. It was directly overhead, and it was the most stunning thing. And Dustin and I, on the way home, were talking, and I remember Dustin telling me many times, we've been together, he says, yeah, you can see him. You can see him where the town that we live in. And I did not believe him. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I've never seen it when I lived in Madison. I've never seen it when I lived in Sun Prairie. I've never seen it when I lived in Forest. I've never seen it in Wisconsin. But he claimed, yes, absolutely, you can see the Aurora Borealis. Well, so now, after 20 years of us being together, finally, we get to see the Aurora Borealis together. And it was the most amazing thing, you guys. The most amazing thing. And I will probably never, maybe, never's a long time. I may never see anything like that again, as close to our hometown as we saw this particular solar flare or solar storm. And so, I cherished it very much. I was so glad that he and I got to have that very special moment together, because 20 years is a big deal, you guys. It's huge. I don't know many relationships that last that long. And we were asked a lot, how do you make it work? What's the secret? There's a couple secrets, and I will share a couple of them with you. One, you need to agree that the toilet paper is toilet paper side up, okay? You do not put the toilet paper side down. It's toilet paper side up. If you can agree on that in your relationship, that's number one. Number two is that your partner needs to have the respect for you if you're a lady person. Your partner, if your partner is not a lady person, needs to understand the importance of putting the god dang seat down, okay? Like, seriously. If I dip my butt in a cold, wet toilet in the middle of the night, your head's going in it. That's all I'm saying. Put the damn seat down. Like, it's not that difficult. Just put it down. That's important. Third, very important thing is that you can be very open and honest about the fact that you're upset with each other. And I remind Dustin on a very frequent basis that I will club his damn knees while he sleeps. Just, just to make sure he knows that it's possible I could do it, right? When he pisses me off. I know where he sleeps. And if you don't know, I probably would never really do it, but I would just leave him in there. It'd be like misery. I just hobble his ankles or something, and I'd feed him. I'd make sure he ate food, right? But yeah, I break his knees. In all seriousness though, the last thing that's the most important, this is the most important, and I'm telling you, after 20 years of our relationship, this is what keeps the world rotating on its axis, okay? It's very simple. I am always right, and he is never wrong. That's it. Right there. We cannot ever stray from that, except for maybe he is always right, and I am never wrong, but we can't. No, that's it. Right there. You want to be happy in a relationship, you need to agree that. 20 years. It's been great. Nah. But really, in all seriousness, it is hard work. And I am incredibly, incredibly lucky. Just as he is lucky to have me, I am lucky to have him. And really, honestly, incredible in-laws too. They're great people. And they raised a really phenomenal man. Now, we don't know exactly the date of our anniversary. That could also be in there with, it's important. We just never really figured out what the day was, and we're not legally married, so we don't have an official anniversary. We just figure right around fall time each year is when we celebrate our being together, and so this fall made it 20 years. Because really every day is important, not just an anniversary day. And that does make a difference. So, all right, guys, I have chatted long enough. You have seen beautiful pictures of the Aurora Borealis, and I want to make sure that I have time to get the tarot card out and read for you, because I'm sure we've got a doozy coming up. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like there's probably a good conversation in there about to happen. So let me grab the cards, shuffle them up a little bit, and see what we get. But first, let me deal with the static in this bag. What I do is I breathe a little hot breath in here and then shake it up. Because the steam of your breath, it kind of takes a little bit of the static out. And then I should be able to just pour this right in. Look at that. Bam. Pretty cool. Okay. And put this in here. There we go. Get a little drinky. There we go. And cards and book. All right. Let's shuffle these up. Now again, I am going to take them and I'm going to flip them back and forth, like taking a little off the pile, flipping it around, etc. Because these have reverse and divine meanings. So it does matter if it's right side up or upside down. And every now and again, I will go through and flip these around so that if we have cards that are meant to go the other way, you just take them and you flip them back and forth. It doesn't really matter like how much or how little you do that. And then I shuffle them like this. I do not do the like shuffle and bridge with my tarot cards. I don't know, it feels disrespectful. It probably isn't. You do what you do with your cards, but I just don't shuffle them that way. Also, I like them in good condition. I want to keep them in that condition. And so, yeah. Okay. Oh, that one feels, well, this one, the one that I just put on top, that one feels right. I don't know why, but it feels right. Okay. Now, let me flip it this way. Let me make sure we don't have boobies. Little boobies. Okay. That's the only boobies, I think. Okay. It was upside down, but I'm going to show it to you right side up. It's called Fairies of the Future. And there are some boobs, so I'm covering her boobs. But she's almost like a fawn. Look at this one right here. It's crazy looking. He's got nefarious intentions, I tell you. Look at that detail. Isn't that amazing? Fairies of the Future. All right. And it is going to be reverse, meaning upside down. But again, there was boobs. So, I'm going to try and find something to set on top of her boobs. There. There we go. That way you can still look at the card, but then you're not looking at boobs. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Fairies of the Future is number 33. Oop, I passed it. Fairies of the Future. All right. Reversed. Are you certain that you are going in the direction that you wish to go? Or are you merely following someone else's lead without being clear about your own direction? It may be that you need to consider a parting of the ways if the goals of others do not match yours, or if they seem to be headed in a direction that is not right for you. This is the moment to pause and consider your direction. Think where you would like to be and who you would like to be a quarter of a century from now. Ask yourself if the steps you are considering now are apt to take you closer to that goal or farther from it. Ask the wise gnome king to point a clear direction to you. You know, I have had a sort of lifelong struggle with control, right? And some of that can be witnessed by family, some of it can be witnessed by friends, some of it even can be witnessed by like people in the Discord. I do struggle a lot with control. And you know, some of that is trauma-based, right? I feel like because there was a lack of control when I was younger, that is why I have a very hard time letting go of the reins now. And then some of it, of course, can be linked to autism and the struggles that I have with that. It was interesting because I had a conversation tonight where we were talking about, you know, like my kind of almost, it can read like an obsession once I get started on a kit that I'm really, really, really having fun with or whatever. Like I push and push and push and I get it done very quickly. And, you know, it was mentioned like, maybe you should stop and try to enjoy yourself. And I was like, am I coming off like I'm not enjoying myself? Oh my gosh, I'm enjoying myself so much. Like I love every kit that I work on basically. And I don't feel like I'm not enjoying it. I guess, you know, because I'm just pushing hard and I'm moving quickly. Like maybe it could read as, you know, I'm doing that because I'm trying to, you know, I'm in a race or something, or I'm trying to meet a deadline or whatever, and And some of it is that, I suppose, for content, things like that. But a lot of it is just autism, you know what I mean? And control. Autism and control, a little bit of both. And, but I'm either way, I am very much enjoying myself. Now, in speaking about going your own way, making sure it's your way, that it's the way you want to go, in that conversation, I probably could have sort of conceded and said, "Oh no, you're totally right. It's like you say, I'm pushing too hard, and I really need to relax, and it's anxiety, or it's this, or it's that." And I almost did. And then a question was asked of me, like, you know, why do you do X thing? Like, why do you feel like you need to push or whatever? And it's the way I've always been. It's the direction I've always gone. The pushing. I'm great with a deadline, because I will push to get to the end. I will push to get to the finish line. But I also tend to burn a candle at both ends, and I will stay up, like 24 hours solid to try and complete a diamond painting simply to get it done, right? And so it's part and parcel, I feel like, of one, autism. The autism does cause me to maybe push harder than another person might, but it's also this sense of control, and I have a very hard time giving it up. A very, very hard time giving it up. And so when it comes to, are you going the direction you want to go? Are you like, you know, making sure that others aren't leading you in a place you don't want to go? In a quarter of a century, it says, are you going to be happy with where you end up following someone else's lead, right? And the fact of the matter is that, one, I could probably benefit. It says for the keywords, be here now, guidance, and moving forward. And, you know, I could probably do well to take maybe some more pointers or advice from people. But if their goals do not match mine, then I don't want to go in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? And so it's a time to consider your direction, where you would like to be, and who you would like to be a quarter of a century from now. And you know, I wrestle so hard with making sure that I always have that decision-making control. Always. Always, always. Like, okay, for instance, I had talked about, for the barest of seconds, having a co-host of this event, the Mary Borealis. And then after saying the words out loud, I started to panic. Like, actually felt anxiety in my body. And one, I think that is because I'm a control freak. I am. I fully admit it. I'm a control freak, and I've always been horrible when it comes to group projects. I tend to just take the whole thing and say, I'll do it. Just let me do it. Just let me do it. Because I know I'll do it right, and I know I'll do it right now. I will make sure it gets done in a timely manner. I'm not going to be left waiting for somebody on the group project to turn in their share or whatever. Like, I'm a control freak in that way. And I don't play well with others when it comes to group projects. And then also, I would worry that another person might take this event in a direction that I don't want it to go. That they would try and make it theirs, like to take ownership of it in some kind of way. And it's in its baby infancy right now, you know. It's new, it's special, and it's a baby. And so I only took a literal millisecond to go, oh, nope, that was a weird thought. Don't even know why I had it, because that's never going to happen. Now, would that happen maybe in a future year or whatever? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I would be interested in having a co-host for, you know, various reasons. I do have a wonderful team of people that have agreed to help me out with things and keep me on time track and make sure that I'm doing the stuff on my to-do list. And I'm very, very lucky to have those people. But even those people, like if I felt like the directions that they were giving me were wrong to what I see and what my vision is, even if it came down to something as simple as I presented a graphic. Somebody was mentioning things like, I knew why I made the graphic the way I did. They didn't, to be fair. But they were like, you know, maybe you should do this, 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 and lose these things. And I was like, no, because those are there for a reason, you know, da, da, da. I am the kind of person that if I don't agree, if I see that, you know, there's something, it would be so easy for me to just go, oh, you're totally right. I'll fix it. Like, I'll make it better, and then agonize over how to make it better. Because I used to do that ish, and I'm not going to do that ish anymore. I'm grown. I'm a grown up, you know. I could have agonized over it, but I said, you know, actually that's there for a reason, you know, da 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 da. And I felt very good about just saying, nope, that's the way it's supposed to be. I took some notes on some other things for the actual graphic that I want to use. That one was for something specific though, but they couldn't have known that, right? But I took some pointers on the other, and I fixed some things or whatever. But it's hard to lead me in a direction that I don't want to go. You, on the other hand, you need to be strong and independent, and you need to make sure that whatever group you're in, or whatever project you're doing, or whatever is going on in your life, even with your significant other, in a quarter of a century, where do you see this going? Where do you see it taking you? Are you happy with the destination? Are you excited to see what that looks like? Or are you terrified to see what that looks like? That may answer a lot of your questions immediately. Why let another judge for you what is ultimately your happiness, your solace, your security? Because ultimately there's nobody out there that's going to be able to live your life for you but you. And allowing another person to lead that life, and to tell you where you're going to go, and to tell you what you're going to do, and to determine all of those things for you. Some people can be happy like that. I am not one of those people. Like I said, will fight tooth and nail to keep things in the direction that I want it going. If it's my life, it's going to be my life, and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Are you strong enough to, when something comes up, instead of people pleasing and saying, oh no, you're right, I'll fix it, I'll change it, are you willing and able to stand your ground and to say, I did it that way for a reason? I trust in my gut, and I need you to trust in my gut too. Because in every single one of us, there is a doubter. There is a person who is terrified that we could be wrong, that we could fail, that we could fall, that we could fuck it up, right? But you have to take some kind of just power in the knowledge that only you know where you want to be, what you want to do, and what is best for you. A quarter of a century from now, that's 25 years. I remember a time I couldn't even see that far into the future. I didn't believe in that far in the future. Sometimes I still don't. Sometimes I still think that that's bollocks, and there's no way I'm going to live to be another quarter of a century old. Now, granted, didn't help that my mother died very young, but I could convince myself that I'm not going to make it that far. And then, yeah, I could see myself going with the flow. You know, like my mother-in-law, she's always asking me, when are you going to go back to work? Well, let me tell you a little story about allowing someone else to have control over my decisions and over my life. I worked at a job that terminated me. It'll be a year on the 14th of November that they terminated me. And, I mean, it was a wrongful termination. It was a horrible reason to terminate somebody. It was terrible. Well, since losing that job, I struggled with my self-worth for so long because I practically ran that company and I was doing everything right. I was like bringing things in the direction that I felt it needed to go. I worked hard. I was 24/7. I was about that business, right? Instead of about my life and my family and my well-being, okay? So they terminate me from the job, even though the local management did not want to, because they knew and I knew and even corporate knew that the allegations against me were completely false, but they didn't want to fight it. They wanted to be seen to be doing something so that the person didn't keep calling and bothering them. Just petty, stupid bullcrap. They were allowed to decide my life for me. Not just corporate, but the employee was allowed to decide my life for me, my livelihood, my check, and corporate let me go. And do you know what happened at that business? Not just 2 months after I was terminated, they terminated the executive director. And then after terminating her, just today, I was notified that my director of nursing, the one who was like my supervisor that did not want me terminated, that was ready to go to court to stand up for me, he also got terminated. And not even for good reasons. Everybody was terminated for kind of shit reasons. And I said to my former manager that I talked to today after I found out he lost his job and, you know, kind of got the skinny on what happened and whatever, because then he doesn't know why he lost his job exactly. I said, but how does it feel to not have a company that is living your life for you, that is not looking out for you, not looking out for your family, not looking out for your well-being, your health, your mental wellness, all those things? You don't have to do any of that anymore for them. You're done. You're done. And I heard him take a deep breath on the phone and sigh. And he said, you know what? I never even thought to look at it that way. I was so busy feeling like garbage and worthless. Never even thought to look at it that way. And I said, you know, a year away from this place and a little bit of perspective on where I want my life to go, where I want things to be with my family, where I want things to be with my mental, spiritual, and emotional health. And you know what I've learned in that year away, almost to the day? I am worth something. My word means something. My word is valuable. And the direction that I want to go is what's most important. And the direction that you want to go is most important in your life too. You heard it here first. You heard it here from the tarot cards. It just so happened to coincide with, because it usually does for some weird ass reason, coincide with something that's I've already talked about or had planned to talk about. I had almost forgot to talk about that, in fact. It was just so weird to get a call and to say, like, you know, hey, I don't know if you heard, but blah, 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 blah. And the former executive director, the one that was let go a couple months after me, she is executive directing a whole other company. It's so much less stress. She doesn't have near the amount of responsibilities that this other company was asking us for. I mean, we didn't have lives. We didn't have time of our own. It was 24/7 with this place because there were always fires to put out. And she's happier than she's been. But she's got about 9 months worth of perspective away from that place and understanding that your way is the right way. And anybody who wants to lead you by the nose and tell you to go a different way, cut them loose. Your life, your family, your mental health, your well-being are worth more than that. Every bit. Every single bit. And I want you to know that I believe it, and you better believe it too. Also, just as a side note, it wasn't something that I directly heard or directly read lately, but I have a big ask. A big ask with a K. Not a big ass. I have a big ass, but that's not what I was saying. I talk a lot about autism, and I talk a lot about my challenges with autism, and I talk a lot about autism in general, like that it affects me, that and I'll talk more about it if people are interested. But just one baby ask, okay? There's certain language or words that we believe are not hurtful or minimizing because, you know, we're in woke culture or whatever, and we've stopped using the big bad words. Like calling things that are stupid gay. We don't do that anymore. It's not correct. Because it was never correct. I never said it. And then we don't say the R word anymore to talk about things that we don't like, right? Can we not, even if you think it's cute and in good and even if it applies to you because you're also autistic, can we not use words like neurospicy? I mean, even like the word autastic. I have family members. My nephew is nonverbal, barely speaks words. There's a lot that he understands. There's just not a lot that he can communicate. And I'm sure he would love to be able to, but he suffers from the most severe form of autism that you can. And when you use words like neurospicy or autastic, you really diminish a condition that is life-altering to my nephew, who will probably never live on his own. He will probably never be able to go his own way, like we were just talking about. He will probably not ever really have an opportunity to live like a normal life. I say normal in quotes because we're neurodivergent, and that is the correct phrase to use, neurodivergent. And when you say things like neurospicy or autistic, you really diminish the struggle that my brother has in the challenges that he faces with him on a educational level, on a emotional level, on a mental level. It's a fight every day for them. And using words like that, it can really diminish a very serious struggle for people out there for whom this is not just a thing that makes you a little different. It's not just something that you can put on your, you can arrange things in a certain way, and you can do things in a certain way every single day, and still you can speak, and you can drive, and you can exist, and you are not disabled. Things disable you, but you are not disabled by autism. And just to use words like that, it's a bit insensitive, and it is a bit diminishing. So, off my soapbox. I'm really sorry. It came up again, and it hurt my heart, and I needed to speak on it. That said, you guys, thank you for sticking around. I have mad love and respect for you. Go your own way, like Fleetwood Mac says, and go forth in the world and be kind to one another. Be generous, and give love. Okay? Listen, guys, I'm going to finish this up, I think, before I bugger out for the night and go get some sleep. But I wish you the best, and I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world, that you are having a phenomenal, peaceful, and loving morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. Throw me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more diamond painting content from a freakazoid fun person like me. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you again soon, okay? Bye-bye.